Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Nick Beasley Show. That is not my normal co-host. My co-host Rodney will be joining us here shortly, hopefully. But this is a very special guest. I've been trying to get him on the podcast for a minute, but he's been busy. I've been busy. But we finally worked it out. From the Water Cooler Talk podcast, host, proprietor, creator, everything under the sun that he is, Nick Frazier, the Auburn fan, which I just got to say, roll tide. I'm Bama, you Auburn, a little rivalry there.
We good over here, man. We good. What's going on, man? How you feeling, man?
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Can't complain, man. Ready for college football to start.
Yes.
We are in that period to where, we talking season is over with. This is game week. It's time for us to get ready for to start talking about what's happening on the field, man. So I'm excited.
Yeah, man, because we're gonna preview college football week 1. In fact, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up the college football schedule because it is week 1, but it's kind of week 0 and week 1 all meshed in there together.
Okay.
They kind of overlap each other,
A little bit.
Yeah, hold up. We're probably only going to talk about, the big games, the bigger games. Okay. But we are in this college football week 1 preview. So we've got to start out, and I'm actually very excited for this. Saturday, August 23rd, this Saturday.
Yes.
Iowa State and Kansas State from Ireland, 11 a.m. kick. How you feeling about, Iowa State, Kansas State, two what are they? They're both Big 12, right?
Both of them,
yeah. I didn't know. There's been so much realignment, bro.
Yeah. No, man, I'm excited about this game, man. These two teams, apparently, that the Big 12 as a whole is probably the conference that has the most parity in it. So you don't know who could win the conference. And we literally could be watching two of the teams at the beginning of the season. They could be playing each other in the Big 12 championship game at the end of the season. Iowa State, Kansas State, man. I think these are two really tough teams. Kansas State has always been a tough team that you have to play against, especially when you got to go to Little Apple and play them there. But man, I'm excited about this game. More importantly, I'm excited about it because it kicks off football season. I actually get to sit down and watch football this Saturday and things and stuff like that. I mean, it's not the sexy game that everybody's looking at, but trust me, when you watch this game, you are going to be pleasantly surprised. It's going to remind me of the Florida State Georgia Tech game that happened last year at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
It was a surprisingly good game that Georgia Tech ended up eking out by winning by a field goal. I got a feeling that this potentially could be something like that. Could be a close game when it comes down to it in that nature. So I'm excited, man. Iowa State, Kansas State is going to be a good game. So I'm telling everybody, please, when you get a chance, sit down in front of the game and watch it, man, because I'm telling you, Big 12 football is going to be exciting to watch this year because it has the most parity. There is no one true dominant school in there. Every school in there has an opportunity to compete for the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, no, I agree. And honestly, dude, I would say their quarterback, Rocco Beck, I'm very excited to see what he looks like, how he looks. The Big 12 offenses are always fun to watch.
Yes.
It's always been the thing. The Big 12's got great offenses, but they don't have a good defense unless you're Texas or Oklahoma. They're recruited like an SEC school. But they've always been super fun to watch. I'm very excited about Iowa State and Kansas State. So, dude, I'm just excited to wake up Saturday morning and that feeling come back to us of college football. It's almost like the fall is here.
Yeah.
We're a week away from college football. We're 5 days away from college football?
Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
Because it's gonna be Saturday, so yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. We have another one I'm a little jealous about.
Okay.
Boise State, South Florida. I think that could be a sneaky good game. South Florida was a tough team the last 2 years. As a Bama fan, I know that very well. Boise State without Ashton Genty, they're going to have the quarterback from last year returning. I wonder what the offense is going to look like. Who's going to take over for Ashton in the backfield? Mm-hmm. Can this Boise State team repeat what they did last year? Or was it really just Ashton's just was that good, which I believe he was that good.
Mm-hmm.
And, did he – there's a lot of questions for this game.
It is. I think I heard somebody make a joke saying that Boise State is about to show y'all that it was actually Boise State's offensive line that was the best part of their team last year. That made Ashton Genty look so good.
No.
I agree with you, man. I think Boise State, you're gonna see them take a step back. That 25th ranking there is based off of what they did last year. Not saying they won't be a good team, but I mean, you lost a very big piece of the puzzle that plays for the Oakland. I mean, not Oakland, but the Las Vegas Raiders now in that situation, man. So, but the thing is, but here's the thing though. This game also could be one of those good games. You know what I'm saying? It could be a good game.
Look, South Florida's a good team.
Yeah,
they play a physical brand of football.
Yes, like this could be like there are a lot of games in this week 0, week 1 kind of mesh up that could be good games. Like we just talked about, excuse me, we literally just talked about Iowa State, Kansas State, and how that potentially is going to be a good game. Some people that I hope nobody's overlooking. But when you look at this game right here, this Boise State USF game, that game could be another game. That game is on Thursday the 28th, so that's next week. Man, I'm telling you, that could end up being a good game. And like we are in line to see some really good matchups this coming up. To start the season off. Hopefully we get it to start off with a bang so people can be excited about the season moving forward and things, stuff of that nature, man. Just excited that college football is back, man. So I'm telling you, it's going to be one of those things to where you're going to have to really sit down and watch it, because I know we live in SEC country and a lot of people love just trying to see what SEC schools are playing, what other Big Ten school or things and stuff like that. But a lot of these conferences there are a lot of good teams in a lot of these other conferences, man. And I feel like this game right here is going to be one of those sneaky good ones as well.
Yeah. Well, you just mentioned some SEC stuff. The real week 1 has got a bunch of good games, including, and I'm very excited for this, Texas, Ohio State in the Horseshoe. Julian Sayin was named the starter at Ohio State, I believe, yesterday.
Yep.
Obviously, we all knew Arch was going to be the starter at Texas.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see. I know they got Jeremiah Smith back.
Yep.
But they did lose their backfield.
They did.
They got a new quarterback.
Yep.
They lost their senior receiver last year, Emeka Ibuka.
Yep.
They lost Jack Sawyer on the defensive line. They lost some decent corner play as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the defending national champions. Texas, to me, is the best team in college football as far as roster construction. The guys that they retained, they've replaced pieces. I think Arch is going to be a better quarterback than Quinn Ewers was. But I think this game could end up being a shootout. Because my question is that Texas defensive line. The defense lost a lot of good pieces, especially on the front seven. So I wonder if we're going to see Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Smith torching that secondary.
I don't know about that, boss. I don't know about that. Now, here's what I say. I think Anthony Hill Jr. is possibly the best player, the best defensive player, or you can make an argument that he's potentially the best defensive player in the SEC, pushing probably top 5 in college football. You are correct. Ohio State did lose a lot. They lost a lot of talent, but you got to realize Caleb Downs is still on that side of the ball as well, too.
Man, we don't say that name around here. That name is as bad as Isaiah Bond to say around here, man.
Hey, I don't care. That man is a baller. That man is a baller.
No, he is. He
Just
walked away from Alabama.
I can't sit here and deny the fact that that Ohio State still recruits at a very elite, epic level. So they still have talent behind these guys. Now, is a lot of that talent proven? No. But these were still 4- and 5-star blue chip type guys. that were on this roster and that can play football according to recruiting services. They wouldn't have been recruited as high as they were if they weren't scouted that way. I'm actually in the boat here saying, man, when you look at these two teams together, it's almost similar to each other. They both have question marks. Both have starting quarterbacks coming in that are starting really their first game in college football. Real true first game in college football. Archette started some games last year. Both defenses are comparable to each other. They both have talent. I always say, where is the game of football won? The game of football is always won in the trenches. Yeah. Always won on the offensive and defensive line. That's always where it's won at. What team can get a push? What team can play 2 yards on the opposing team's line of scrimmage? On the line of scrimmage, what team can do that? Can the offensive line push the defensive line 2 yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage, or will the defensive line play 2 yards in the backfield of the offensive team?
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you this, man. When I look at this game, this one is hard for me to pick, but I'm actually gonna pick Ohio State to win this game, man. I'm picking Ohio State to win this game. Like when you take into this is gonna be 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock kickoff, so it's a noon kickoff.
Yeah, Jesus.
It's in Columbus, Ohio, in the Horseshoe. The defending national champions. When I look at everything when I look at these two teams together, I look at defense similar. When I look at offense similar, I think that you look at what is the key? What team has the edge? And when I look at the team that has the edge, I look at the wide receiver position. Ryan Wingo for Texas did not come on until the end of the year last year. You kind of saw it come on. Jeremiah Smith showed you who he was all season last year.
And look at the playoff run he had.
Exactly.
Look at that. Like Oregon, he balled against Tennessee, balled against Oregon. Mm-hmm. Really, the only game he didn't show up in was the Texas game, but Ibuka showed up. So they didn't need him. They kind of used him as like a tease guy.
As a decoy.
He's going to want to go off against Texas too. And my thing, you mentioned the line of scrimmage. I'm not saying Texas isn't going to be in the playoffs. They are. They're that good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Ohio State's offensive line, the pieces they are bringing back, will be more physical and more – because this is also SEC Big Ten. This was the whole thing last year in the playoffs bring these SEC teams up to the cold and see what happens. And well, we did, and we brought the wrong team. We should have been Georgia or like Alabama, or heck, I'd even say Auburn, because at least Auburn had a good – Auburn had a good run game. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, I'm giving you credit somewhere.
Auburn didn't want to run the ball though. We got offensive coach, head coach that doesn't want to run the ball. Look at what he did at Ole Miss and look at what he did at Liberty. He got quarterbacks that can move though. That's different. We had a guy in Jarquez Hunter who ran for 278 yards against Kentucky.
I'm very aware.
Had a bye week, and then the next week he only gets like 12, 15 carries in the game against a Vanderbilt team, and you lose by 10. And then you have your head coach come out and say, it was tough for me not to throw the ball, even when our running back was running like that. So, I don't have.
Hey, all I'm saying is I do think Hugh Freeze gets fired after this year.
Wow.
If y'all don't produce. I'd say if you don't make it to a bowl game, like a New Year's Six bowl. I'm not saying y'all got to go to the playoffs because let's be honest, that's not happening.
It's gonna happen. Don't believe. No.
The state of Alabama only needs one team in the playoffs, and that's gonna be Roll Tide.
Jesus Christ, Lord have mercy.
Hey man, we dealt with our own problems last year. Oklahoma embarrassed us.
Oh yes, they did. That they did do. I will tell you that. They ran all over. By the guy that's the quarterback for Auburn now.
Hey, he also got pulled in that game. You remember that? He got pulled in that game now. Don't be talking bad about don't be talking bad now.
And he still ran over all.
What up, Herb? Herb and Raj going to be on the show Thursday night. We're doing a special Thursday night episode. Roll Tide guys. This is an Auburn fan. I'm trying to turn him.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
But yeah, man, I am very much so. I'm very much excited for the season.
Yes.
We have another game, obviously. Alabama, Florida State. Now, I have been on the Theismann boat since before Milroe was a starter.
Did you say Theismann?
Theismann. Ty gonna win the Heisman. The Theismann. Hey, you remember 2020 when Mac Jones was throwing and, delivering the ball to Devontae Smith? That's about to be Ty and Ryan Williams, okay, and Isaiah Horton. But guess what? This time, Ty gonna win the Heisman instead of the receiver. It's the Theismann season. I'm manifesting it, man. It's the Theismann season. But that first game at Florida State. Now, Jam Miller got hurt in the scrimmage on Saturday.
He did.
So we're probably going to be without him, unfortunately, for that first game. I don't know when he comes back. I'm hoping by the Georgia game. Because the Georgia game, the LSU game, and the Iron Bowl scare me.
Okay.
Because for some reason, Georgia at night, something freaky always happens when they play Alabama or Auburn between the hedges.
Mm-hmm.
The Iron Bowl just scares me because it's the Iron Bowl, and I mean that's y'all's championship game.
Wow.
None of y'all's other games matter until that one.
Wow.
Hey man, I gotta throw the hey.
Wow.
I do this to my regular co-host too because he's an LSU fan and he's a Cowboys fan, so he really gets it.
All right.
But no, Auburn's gonna have a good team this year. I think y'all have a legit chance to. I'd say go 9-3.
Okay.
I think you lose to Alabama.
Wow. Okay.
At least I hope so. That's always the Iron Bowl. The Iron Bowl for me is always a toss up because like ever since the kick six, it's like I don't care what the score is at the end of the game. It's still anybody's game.
True.
Until it's 0-0-0, it is anybody's game. And the kick six proved that to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, y'all know, Gravedigger 2 years ago with Milroe and Bond. But I do think the Florida State game, Thomas Castillo has been running his mouth. Talking about Alabama's not really Alabama no more. It's really only because of Saban that they ain't scared of us no more. I want him to know that Justin Jefferson, all right, Deontay Lawson, all right, Bray Hubbard, Keon Sabb, and them boys going to come in there and we're going to punch you in the mouth. And then we're going to ask you, was it just Nick Saban? See, this to me is personal now. Before it was just, it's Florida State, whatever. Now it's personal because you've ran your mouth. And when you run your mouth, I mean, Nick, in college football, running your mouth don't get you nowhere. You got to produce on the field. I mean, look at LSU. They always run in their mouths and they don't produce. Look at USC a few years ago. They came out, with that bear crawl entrance against us. And what happened? They got the teeth knocked in.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to ask, and this isn't a toss-up for me. I'm going Alabama. Who do you got in this game, and where do you think the game's going to be won?
Yeah, like I said, any college football game is always going to be run. I feel like the first place I look, and for the simple fact because I'm a defensive guy, but I'm also like a defensive front four, front seven guy. That's where I love to be there. So I'm always looking at the trenches. And I say this. I would give Alabama the edge in the trenches. I will. But there's one wild card. There's a wild card in this situation. And his name is Gustavo Malzahn. Gus Malzahn is now the OC at Florida State. And y'all know what it is. Osman Kruma, Roydell Williams, Squirrel White, Thomas Castellanos. I'm telling you, man.
I will also say this.
When it comes to
having an athletic quarterback that can run, Gus Malzahn knows how to beat Bama with that. I remember Nick Marshall, the year y'all went and then got waxed by Florida State in the championship. Cam Newton, I mean, that wasn't Gus there, but still Cam Newton. That's the other thing, man. For some reason, Alabama struggles with mobile quarterbacks. I don't know what it is, but it's like our defense is scared to hit him. Johnny Manziel, Cam Newton, Nick Marshall, last year, Nico, Diego Pavia, the quarterback that Oklahoma's got that was the backup to y'all's new quarterback. What's his name?
You talking about Oklahoma?
Yeah, their quarterback they got this year.
Michael Hawkins.
Yeah, him. Like, bro, Michigan's quarterback last year, like, it doesn't matter. If it's a mobile quarterback, it's like the team is scared to hit him. I am going to ask you, this is just going to be a game pick because we're going to get to our next segment. I think I know where you're going, but I do want to know your sense of urgency for this game. Auburn, Baylor, the Friday night game.
Yeah, this game right here is I look at this game and I say Auburn should win this game by at least a touchdown, if not 10 points. Baylor's secondary has been horrendous the past couple of years, even though Dave Aranda has been the head coach, who is a defensive minded guy. Every school he has been at, even in the SEC, his defenses have been one of the tops in the country, top 20, top 25 type defenses. But this season, he has stated that he will be back in the defensive strategy and part of the game planning, play calling for the defenses this year for Baylor. Baylor's offense, you have a fifth-year senior coming back in Sawyer Robertson. You have guys like the Alabama transfer, Kobe Prentice. You have guys like Ashton Hawkins on that side. You have guys like Joshua Cameron on that side. Bryson Washington, who was a 1,000-yard running back last year for Baylor. You look at the offensive line, Colton Price, their center. You have Omar I'm gonna make sure I say his name correctly. A.G. Bendion on the offensive line. Ryan Lingiel on that offensive line as well. They're formidable, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that our front seven on the defensive line should be dominated by them. When you look at the defensive side of the ball, Jackie Marshall rushing the passer. You have Emarion Wilson on that side and the linebacker group. But then the secondary part for Baylor is the one that I am very, very I'm not worried about at all. Baylor gave up a lot of explosive plays last year. Caden Jenkins, Tevin Williams III, Carl Williams, who will be a nickel back in that defense as well. A lot of those guys, I'm telling you, man, not if hopefully they've progressed, but when you look at what we have at the wide receiving core with Cam Coleman, Malcolm Simmons, Perry Thompson, Eric Singleton, Ratio Fields, and even Preston Howard coming on at tight end, I don't see any secondary in this country that's going to be able to guard our guys. Like, because if you double team, you're going to leave one open. I look at this game, man, and I think, as I always say, it's going to come down to the trenches. As always, the line of scrimmage is always going to determine who wins the game. And I'm going to go with Auburn to win this game, and I'm going with a score of 31-23. It's the game.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give my score of the Bama-Florida State game. Alabama, 77.
Wow.
All right. Theismann going to start his campaign with 11 passing touchdowns. All right. We're going to give 5 to Ryan Williams, 5 to Isaiah Horton. And then the last one, Jeremy Bernard. Let's go, Jerm. Show you.
Wow. Baby. This dude said 77-0, y'all. That's what he said. He said 77-0.
77-0. 77-0. We're going to whoop them. We gonna make them wish that they was like UAB and didn't have to play us.
Jesus Christ.
Mike Norvell ain't nothing without Mike Norvell ain't nothing without Jordan Travis now.
Okay.
All right, let's get into this though. I am excited for this SEC quarterback breakdown. Now, what we're gonna do is you're going to give me who you think's the best quarterback in the conference,
Okay.
and who you think's the worst quarterback in the conference, and tell me why you think one's the best and one's the worst. So who's your best?
Man, the best quarterback in the conference, man, I'm gonna be real with you. This was tough for me because I'm picking between 4 guys, man. And I'm just gonna go overall guy, man. I'm gonna have to go Garrett Nussmeier, best quarterback in the conference, most pro ready guy. Last year he threw for just under 4,100 yards passing last year. That was second to Jackson Dart, who was over 4,200 yards passing. So he's the leading returning passer in the conference this year. The problem with LSU last year was not the offensive side of the ball. They were able to move the ball and score. Problem was they had a defensive problem. Now you see them go and they go get Patrick Payton in the portal. They go get they have excuse me. They have a couple of guys coming back. Harold Perkins is coming back, as well. They go get some pieces in the front 7 that should be able to rush the quarterback and put pressure on opposing quarterbacks in order for them to have some coverage, some interceptions on the back end and things, stuff of that nature. My thing is this, man. Garrett Nussmeier is the most pro-rated quarterback right now. Him, Klubnik, potentially Connor Wegman, potentially Haynes King out of Georgia Tech. But you're looking at Garrett Nussmeier, man, and I'm telling you, man, this dude can make every throw on the field. All he has to do is just stay consistent. If he just stay consistent and stay within himself and not turn the ball over, and just play and just play the game, man. Just go out there and just play, not uptight, not too tight, play loose. I think you'll see why a lot of scouts have him as potentially the number 1 quarterback coming off the board in this upcoming draft in 2026.
Yeah, I agree with you about Garrett. I've been saying it all offseason. I think Garrett's the best one in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know if you watched that SEC football special Netflix thing that they did.
Any given Saturday? Yeah.
Yeah, I watched like I think maybe the first 2 episodes. I haven't watched all of it yet. To me, I agree with you. LSU's problem was tackling on defense.
Yes.
I mean, it was obvious in the USC game to open the year last year that team just wasn't going to be able to tackle. This year, I think they are more physical on the back 9. I think they're a lot more physical on the front 7.
Yes.
I think their linebacking core is a bunch of dogs. They're a bunch of headhunters. I think they're going to be a tough team to deal with. I do wonder, because of how everything happened with the young man, I do wonder if Kyron Lacey's passing is going to be motivation for them to play even harder. I know he was going to go to the draft anyway.
That's interesting.
He was going to go to the draft, but with all the stuff he dealt with at the end of the year, going into the draft process, and then ultimately him dying, and I wonder. I just feel like that team right now is going to really come together. Mm-hmm. And I think Garrett is going to – I think – obviously, look, I say Heisman, but I genuinely don't think Ty's going to win the Heisman. I think the Heisman's going to come out of the SEC, but I think it's either going to be Arch Manning or it's going to be Garrett Nussmeier.
Jesus Christ. The Arch, I don't understand the Arch hype, but okay.
No, hold on. The only reason I'm saying Arch is because if Texas has a really good year,
that makes sense.
And he has a solid year, his last name will win him that trophy.
I agree with you there.
I'm on you. I don't have Arch in my top 3 for the SEC. I've got it being Garrett Nussmeier, Lenore Sellers, DJ Lagway, Gunnar Stockton at Georgia. I think it's gonna be really good.
You got Gunnar in the top 4?
I think he's gonna be real. I think he's that good.
Wow.
I think he'll be the best quarterback they've had at that school. Because
wait a minute now.
Under Kirby Smart.
Okay, I was about to say.
I'm not gonna put him above Matthew Stafford now. Aaron Murray. I meant under Kirby Smart because I don't think Stetson Bennett wasn't mobile much. Like he could move around, but he was more reliant on his receivers. Okay. Carson Beck, we saw what happened when Brock Bowers left. I mean, we all saw that. when he lost Brock and Ladd. We saw what happened last year. I think Gunner's going to be the fourth best. And I'm trying to remember his name. You've got me on this train, bro. The Mississippi State quarterback and then the Ole Miss quarterback.
Blake Shapen, baby. Blake Shapen.
I think he'll be really good. I think Ole Miss's Austin Simmons is going to be really good. Mm-hmm. I think Ty's going to be Ty's up there. But my worst quarterback for this for the SEC is that Joey Aguilar in Tennessee. I don't know what to make. Bro, I've not seen one good clip of that boy.
I'll tell you this.
He wasn't good at Appalachian State either, bro.
I was just about to bring that up. So Joey Aguilar, okay, so Joey Aguilar was the Appalachian State quarterback for 2 years, transferred to UCLA, and then UCLA and Tennessee had the first ever college football trade. That's basically what they did.
Yeah, I mean, they traded. It wasn't categorized as a trade, but Nico went to UCLA and Joey came to,
Exactly. So when you look at Joey Aguilar's first year at Appalachian State, threw for just over 3,700 yards, had a 66% completion percentage, had 33 touchdowns, 10 interceptions in his first year. The next year, he regressed a lot. He threw in his second season, threw for just over 3,000 yards. Completion percentage went from 66 to 55%, went from 33 touchdowns to like 24, 23, and increased in interceptions to 14. Transferred to UCLA. Did not have a spring with Tennessee. Came in after the whole Nico Iamaleava situation.
The debacle.
Basically. And did not have a spring. And you are telling me, you expect me for him coming off the season he had at Appalachian State to come into Tennessee and have a great year after not having a spring with organized play? Like,
well, the other thing is also you just mentioned Florida State. Sorry to cut you off. Florida State does have Squirrel White. Tennessee doesn't anymore.
Yes.
They don't have they don't have the backfield. Dylan Sampson's gone
to the NFL. This is the thing, man. This is the thing. Tennessee does not have. They didn't bring in enough talent to put around Nico, in my opinion, for him to even succeed. Now, when you look at Dylan Sampson leaving, when you look at your guy that was on the defensive side, he's in the NFL now. Squirrel White's gone. Brew McCoy medically retired from football, even though he got drafted. He's medically retired from football.
Yeah.
You have young talent there, but it's unproven. And so now you even look at the offensive line. Wendell Moore, who transferred from Arizona, who's going to be the guard there. You're looking at him now saying, is this guy, is he the fix? Like, and I'm looking at Tennessee's offensive line, and I'm saying, man, all right, they could be good, they could be bad. I have predicted that Tennessee is going to have the worst fall off in the SEC this year. They're going to go from playoff team, and they're going to go to probably a 5, 6, 7 win team this year. In my personal opinion.
I'm not even going to that many wins because my other thing, and real quick, well, hold on one second. He just stepped away. My podcast co-host did just jump on.
That's good.
We'll bring Rodney on in just a moment, guys, once he's back on camera. But I was going to say, as far as Tennessee, like you mentioned, Joey, he didn't have a spring. I was saying, though, going into the year before the whole Nico, Joey trade, that whole thing happened, I was saying, you know what? There's a chance that with Nico, Tennessee could still be really good. There's a chance that he makes them good. Yeah. And I was saying there was a chance the coach at Tennessee, Rodney, thank you for joining us. You're late. It'll be taken out of your pay that you don't get paid on this show, that you don't get paid to be on this show.
Sorry, I'm late, guys. Sorry.
Nah, you're good. It's all good. We're talking a little SEC football. I'm messing with an Auburn fan just like I mess with you as an LSU fan. But back to what I was saying. Josh Heupel, I thought going into the year before the whole Nico trade happened, it's like, you know what? This is a prove-it year for him to be like, you don't have the great talent around Nico like you did last year, but can you develop a quarterback now?
Yeah.
If he gets 4 wins, he may get a contract extension.
Wow.
Because nobody expected this to happen. But my worst quarterback, I just told you, Joey Aguilar. Sounds like it's the same thing for you.
Yep.
Rodney, who is your number one? Who is your best quarterback in the conference? I think I know where you're going.
I think it's pretty obvious with the SEC. I think the best quarterback going into this season is obviously going to be Arch Manning. I mean, I know a lot of people are probably saying Garrett Nishmeyer, but
what? I thought you were going with Garrett because you're an LSU fan.
I wanted to, but I gotta go with the factual. I mean, this is a guy who's finally going to have a chance to fully
Let me
start.
Ask you this before you continue.
Ahead.
What has Arch done in a SEC college football game? Who's he beaten? Name one SEC. He beat an SEC team. Who was it? He didn't beat Georgia. He ain't beat Alabama yet. He hasn't beat Auburn yet. He didn't beat Ole Miss.
I know
he ain't beat Tennessee. He's not beat Vanderbilt. South Carolina ain't been beat by him. Who's the SEC team he beat? Me and Nick both know who it is, but who you got? Who's your SEC team that he beat, bro?
Do you really have to come at me like this, man?
I'm just saying, bro. Me and Nick been sitting here for like 10 minutes talking about Garrett Nussmeier and how we think he could even be a Heisman frontrunner. And the LSU guy, we set it up perfectly for you, and you go, Arch Manning.
Well, I don't want to be biased. Here's the thing,
dude.
If I'm biased,
look at our podcast. I'm biased. I've been saying Theismann all night.
Well, it's going to be between Arch Manning and Garrett Nishmeyer. That obviously it's going to be between them two. Obviously.
So what about Lenore Sellers, DJ Lagway, Ty Simpson, Austin Simmons at Ole Miss, the kid at Mississippi State whose name I still can't remember.
Blake Shapen.
Don't forget
Blake Shapen. I got to remember that.
Stockton.
Bro.
Don't forget Gunnar Stockton at UGA.
Yeah, Gunnar Stockton, who I think is actually going to be a top 3. Because I think it's Garrett, DJ, Lenore, and Gunnar.
I'm going. Okay, here's my top 4. If you're going top 4, I'm going Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah.
I'm going Lenore Sellers. I'm going John
Okay.
Mateer at Oklahoma.
Okay.
Then I'm going DJ Lagway. If you go on top 4, then after that, my next tier would be Marcel Reed, Taylor Green. It would be.
Oh, I forgot about Marcel.
Jackson Arnold would be in that second tier of guys. He would be Jackson Arnold would be either 8 or 9 on my list.
Yeah.
So he would probably be in that bottom second tier, top half third tier. And then of course I'm gonna have to go with excuse me. I'll put Ty Simpson in that second tier.
Ty, baby.
Alabama quarterback.
I'll throw you a ball in there. But then if I'm putting Ty there, I have to exchange him with with Austin Simmons, because I think Austin Simmons is going to be really good, but Austin Simmons hasn't played a game yet. At least Ty has played in a couple of games.
So where would you put
Austin
Arch Manning?
Could be better than Ty because he's more athletic.
I have Arch in the third tier right now.
With the same tier as Zach Calzada, the seventh-year guy? The seventh-year guy? What?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
So you're hold on. So you're
I would almost if it wasn't for the fact that Joey Aguilar stuck to Appalachia State, I'd almost put him above Arch. And I'm not even kidding.
You're putting Arch Manning, who has the biggest upside and the most potential.
Arch beat Mississippi State. That's the only team of quality he beat. And they were terrible last year, bro.
But here's the thing: if you look at all quarterbacks in the SEC, Arch Manning. No, it's not just the last name. His ability, his athletic ability, his arm. He has the most upside out of almost all the guys.
Disagree.
Who has the most upside there?
Lenore Sellers.
John Mateer, Lenore Sellers, DJ Lagway. Those 3.
Those 3 are, 1, more athletic than Arch, all 3 of them. 2, I think better decision makers than Arch. And 3, have less to work with than Arch will.
Well, here's the thing you got to realize, though. A lot of these teams in the SEC are not, national champion contenders. Texas is a national champion contender. Don't forget,
they were that way with Quinn Ewers, dude. Would you have put Quinn Ewers in the top of the SEC quarterbacks last year?
No.
The same talent that he had is what Arch has. They lost a couple pieces and they replaced them. Come on, man. You know it ain't Arch. You know it's not. You're just trying to be different than us, man. You know it's not Arch. You're letting the last name Manning blind you from reality. Reality is Arch Manning's not going to be that good. Reality is Arch Manning. If Arch Manning has a mid-year season, but Texas makes the playoffs, he'll win the Heisman because of his last name.
Yeah, he'll win the Heisman Trophy. I mean, they've all but given it to him. Like all he has to do, literally all he has to do is, I say,
not throw 100 interceptions.
That's it. He has to have a stat line of something like 3,400 yards passing. I don't know, maybe 25, 20. I wouldn't even say 3,500. He would probably have to have something like a Cam Newton type year. So maybe like 2,600 yards passing. If he rushed for close to 1,000 yards on the ground, he'll probably get that. He'll probably if he has 25 passing touchdowns, if he adds like 15 to 18 rushing touchdowns on top of that, that would be enough for them to say, yo, this man can win the Heisman Trophy, because they've all but given it to him anyway. Like what? Like and on top of that, if Texas wins the SEC and they are in the playoff and they in the playoffs, you add that on top of that, they've all but given it to Arch Manning anyway. All he has to do is just do that. Do what I just stated. If he does that, Arch Manning wins the Heisman Trophy. Just
that's the other thing, dude. One of the Heisman voters is Paul Feinbaum, who I don't think should have a vote, but he does. And Paul Feinbaum has been on the TV all summer, and I know this because I've watched all the stuff. He's basically been, pardon my language, sucking Arch Manning's dick for a year. Literally, bro.
Wait a minute.
Literally.
Whoa. Wow. I was not expecting that part to come out. Whoa.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong, though, bro. Tell me I'm wrong.
This is great TV, man. This is great TV, man. This is great.
Tell him, Nick. Tell him, Nick.
Whoa.
Hey, Rodney.
Whoa.
Who's your worst quarterback in the SEC? Because then we'll have to go to the next segment and do that real quick to get.
I'm going to go with the 7th-year guy, Zach Calzada.
That's not a bad
7 years. Come on, man. 7 years. Come on, dude.
I don't forget who he played for.
Kentucky.
Missouri's quarterback.
Kentucky. No, he's Kentucky.
Kentucky. Okay, yeah, that's fine with me.
Funny?
I don't care.
You know what's funny? Nobody can put Missouri at the bottom because we don't know who the quarterback's going to be. We don't know if it's going to be Bo Pribble or it's going to be the other guy. So it's just it's wild. Bo Pribble transferred from Penn State, so we don't know. That's wild, bro. That's wild.
Yeah.
Man.
Let's do our last segment here with Nick. It is the SEC team rankings. Now, again, you'll give me your best team in the SEC by roster construction and what they did last year.
Okay.
You'll give me your worst team in the SEC by roster construction and what they did last year. And then you'll tell me who you think could finish the best in the SEC and who you think will end up finishing the worst based on what they may do this year and based on their schedule that they have.
All right.
So we'll start with Nick first. Go ahead, Nick.
Okay.
Best team in the SEC by roster construction and what they did last year. You talking about current roster construction this year?
Yes.
Texas.
Okay.
Texas is the team in the SEC this year. Worst team in the SEC by roster construction and what they did based on roster construction this year and what they did last year. Man, that's tough because I want to put Tennessee there, but what they did last year, they were a playoff team last year.
Yeah, that's where I made it tough on us.
So what I'm going to say is Kentucky. Kentucky is the worst team in the SEC. Who could finish first in the SEC? It's a wild one. This is going to be wild.
If you say Auburn, I'm booting you.
Oklahoma.
Okay, I'll accept that. That's not wild, though. I don't think that's a wild take.
I don't think that's wild.
Oklahoma could finish 1 in the SEC this year. Oklahoma could finish number 1 at the top of the league this year. Who could finish last? Kentucky. That's just Kentucky. I don't see any way in this season with what they have to do where Kentucky ends up being better than 15th in the conference. They're gonna be bottom two. Yeah. I think the bottom two teams in the conference this year is gonna be Kentucky and Tennessee. Like I'm that down on Tennessee.
Now, where do you? Because I know you're high on them, and you think they're gonna finish real good, go to a bowl game, the whole deal.
Yep.
Where you got Mississippi State at in that?
I got Mississippi State at around that 13 to 14 mark. The only thing is I don't have like we did a show on my channel Water Cooler Talk Sports, and they asked the question was, who do you think would be the biggest surprise team this year? I said Mississippi State. I think Mississippi State is going to be the biggest surprise team. Yes, they did go 2-10 last year. I think Mississippi State wins 6 games this year. I think Mississippi State comes out the gate 4-0. Southern Miss, they beat Arizona State, which is going to give them momentum. They win their next 2 games, and then I think they beat Tennessee this year. Tennessee has to go to Mississippi State. That's win 5.
My thing is this though: don't they have to go to Arizona State, or is
Arizona State comes to?
Oh, okay, yeah, they went to them last year. Yeah, I can do them beating Arizona State then.
Let me confirm that real quick. I just want to make sure that I got that correct.
And I remember that episode because if you'll remember, I was in the comments messing with you. Because I'm like, bro, Mississippi State. Bro, you honestly though, you got me more invested in it, and I started looking into the state's roster a little bit more and like their schedule. And 6-6 is 7-5 is not bad. Also,
here's the thing:
they don't play any of the real juggernauts other than like Texas.
That part, like you got to understand. Like, hold on, let me see. Where did they play? Yeah, Arizona State comes to Starkville this year. But here's the thing, though. Like, what was the problem? What was Mississippi State's problem last year? Mississippi State could score the football. They averaged just under 26 points per game last year. Defense gave up anybody. They couldn't. Defense gave up 34 points a game last year on average.
And you're never going to win surrendering that many points. It's just like they say, defense wins championships. Like you can have a great offense.
Look at the Bengals. Look at the Bengals last year. Exactly. The Bengals averaged like 40 points a game and still lost 8 games.
Exactly.
If they would have, and they're going to be Bengals would have had. If they would have had at least a above average defense, Super Bowl contender. Super Bowl contender.
And what did Mississippi State do? What was the focus of Mississippi State this offseason? They went into the portal and they basically flipped that whole defense to a bunch of juniors, seniors, and graduate transfers that have played at other Power 4 schools. Not a lot of G4 guys that's coming up. These are guys that have played other big-time football at other Power 4 schools. Some of them within the SEC as well have transferred to Mississippi State. Mississippi State defense is going to be better this year.
Yeah.
Blake Shapen missed all but like he only played in like 3 games last year with a shoulder injury. So he didn't play. He was on track to be a 3,000 plus yard pass last year based on his first 3 games. You bring him back. You pair in the problem that I have with Mississippi State is potentially offensive line. I don't know what the offensive line is going to look like. And everybody knows I'm a line of scrimmage type guy if you watch our show.
Yeah.
Offensive line, I don't know yet. We got to see what happens there. But you telling me on the defensive side of the ball, defensive line, at every level of the defensive side of the ball, they got better. The skill position got better. The quarterback that was going to play all year he's back and he's gotten better. Offensive line is still a problem. Offensive line is still a mystery. But I look at this roster and I look at the teams that they have to play. I'm sitting here saying, man, don't be surprised Mississippi State wins 6 games this year and goes bowling.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be. So, Rodney, same question to you. Who is your, based on what they did last year and how they're currently constructed, who's your best team?
So, based off of how they finished last year and then how things are looking this year, it's between 2 teams for me, Georgia and Texas, the 2 teams that was in the SEC championship last year. Okay. I'll say for me, I got to agree with Nick. I'm going to go with Texas as well for the best team. I think like we were talking about how they finished last year and then everything that's surrounding them going into this season, they're one of the candidates to finish at the top for the SEC, especially going back to the SEC championship. I'm going as Texas as the best team in the SEC this year. I will say the worst team, I got to also agree as well. I mean, who's really paying attention to Kentucky? Like, I'm sorry.
I didn't even know who their quarterback was.
It's Kentucky all the way is going to be the worst football team in the SEC conference this year. And who I think will finish first, that will be tough. Because I say the top 4 teams in the SEC this year is going to be Georgia, Texas, LSU, and Alabama.
Good boy.
So,
I was waiting to see if you said Alabama.
Oh my gosh. I will say between those 4, I will say going off of the consistency of their coach and seeing what he's done these last 4 to 5 years, I say once again, the team that's going to finish number 1 in the SEC, my home state team, I'm going to go for Georgia.
I disagree with that.
Because
you're a very bad person.
With the consistency that Kirby Smart has been on these past 4 to 5 years, back-to-back national champion, just won the SEC championship this year. You got to look at the facts and you got to look at the records. Kirby Smart knows what he needs to do to be at the very top in the SEC conference, and not only the SEC, but in the playoff picture. Because they got a chance, just like all these other years, to be at the top 5 of the entire college football league.
Yeah. I'm going to go with – I'm going to agree with y'all. It's Texas for me because they've got the best roster. They finished even losing to Ohio State, they were still the last team standing in the SEC last year. I think they got better on both sides of the ball. I think Sark is an incredible coach and an incredible play caller. So he'll find a way to make things work with Arch. He's probably already got a plan in place. He probably had it in place last year, but just wanted to let Quinn finish out his, Texas career as a starter. For me, the worst team is going to be a bit different from y'all because y'all said Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Missouri because they did not finish that strong last year. And like you said, Nick, we don't know who their quarterback's going to be. So we have no clue how good or bad that quarterback room is going to be. And until we know who the quarterback is going to be, I can't sit there and put them above anybody. And for me, the team that I think could finish that top tier, I got to go with, y'all see me rubbing my hands. You know where I'm going.
My gosh. Here we go.
Here's the thing, though. I got to be honest. I'm gonna get some hate for this. I think LSU could legitimately finish in the top.
Whoa!
I think they can win the conference. I think they can win the conference, get in the playoffs, and I think they can make a run because me and Nick were talking about it before you got on here, Rodney. That defense got better at LSU, and their problem was not offense. And Garrett Nussmeier, despite you saying it's Arch Manning, Garrett Nussmeier is the best quarterback in the SEC, and he is the second best quarterback in the country behind Cade Klubnik. And I'd say Drew Aller's right there, like 2A, 2B, as far as best quarterbacks in the country. With Garrett Nussmeier, I've got LSU finishing in the top. And as a Bama fan, that hurts me to say. But look, I got to be real. I love Ty. I can't wait to see what he does. But I've seen what Garrett can do against these top-tier SEC teams. I haven't seen Ty do it against the top-tier SEC teams because for 2 years he's been on the bench with Milroe starting, even though Milroe shouldn't have started. Don't give me. You know what? We're off Milroe. I'm not doing it. He's gone. He's in the league. I ain't got to deal with it anymore. He's gone. And he doesn't play for my Dolphins, so we're okay. I think I'm going to give a surprise team that I think could finish in the mid. I'm going to say mid-tier. Upper tier, but kind of lower in it. I think Auburn could finish top 7 in the conference.
That's not.
I think they're that good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got LSU finishing in the top. I know I shocked both of you when I said that.
That was crazy.
Y'all saw me run
that
my
was crazy.
Y'all thought I was going to go with Alabama. Y'all thought I was going to be the homer, didn't you?
That's exactly what I thought you was about to say.
I thought you was going to say that too. Same thing.
Well, look, I put like you said, Rodney. You didn't want to be biased. I got to put my analyst hat on and look at the situation. I think LSU is going to finish in the top. I think LSU is going to surprise some teams this year. I don't think that Georgia, Bama, Texas, all those teams are taking them seriously. I think LSU could surprise some teams. But, Nick, we appreciate you joining. It's been a little longer than we expected. Cool. Sorry for that. Tell the people where they can find you so they can follow you on all your social platforms.
Yeah, man. Water Cooler Talk Sports here on YouTube, man. You can find us. We do live call-in shows Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. You can follow us on Twitter at FitnessPod23 on Twitter and on Instagram and TikTok. It is at the Water Cooler Talk on Instagram and TikTok, man. So, man, we appreciate y'all, man, for that, for allowing me to come around here and chill with y'all, man. Got to do it again during the season.
Yes, sir.
Got to get you over. Got to get you over on Water Cooler. Got to get both y'all over there on Water Cooler.
For sure, man.
We can talk.
Hey, I'm already a subscriber. You know, I'll be watching all y'all shows. I've been thinking about doing a live call-in, kind of just to troll y'all for being an Auburn fan. But I'm also like, you know what, man? I don't want to go that because you got a lot of Auburn fans in your chat. I don't want them getting on me, bro.
Yeah, we got a lot of Auburn fans. You know, we talk SEC football, but you know, we got a lot of Auburn fans in my chat. Which I do, but we appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much for having me, man. Can't wait to come back.
Anytime.
This was actually fun. This actually went by faster. That whole hour went by pretty quick. I did not
it didn't feel like an hour until I looked at the clock and was like, crap, he said 40 minutes.
I did. I was pretty quick, man. But I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much. And can't wait to get back over here, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime you text me, we'll have you on. Always down to have guests. If you want us both on Water Cooler Talk, we're perfectly fine coming on there. You said Monday, Wednesday, Fridays when y'all do y'all show. And I know I've already seen it. Y'all are live streaming Auburn, Oklahoma reaction.
Yeah,
I got to pop in that chat.
We live stream every Auburn game. We're doing a live reaction.
I got to pop in that chat.
As the game is going on. It's called the locker room. So basically, as the game is going on, you get to sit and watch me react to the game, and I get to interact with the chat. So for the full game, 15 minutes before the game start, we do pregame. 15 minutes before the game start, we'll go through the whole game, and then 5 minutes after the game, we'll stay on after, and then we get everybody to go to the official post-game reaction show over on Auburn Natty's TV called Tiger Bet. So it's gonna be dope, man. It's gonna be dope.
All right, man. I'll definitely be checking that out. Again, thank you for coming on. Guys, make sure to follow Nick on all of his social platforms. Make sure if you haven't already, Rodney, this includes you, subscribe to the Water Cooler Talk podcast on YouTube because they absolutely crush it. I got to say, the best Auburn sports talk podcast that I've ever watched.
Yeah, man, we appreciate that, man. Thank you. We talk a lot of Auburn. We talk SEC football too, man. But yeah, Auburn.
But y'all be Auburn boys, though.
We are Auburn fans. We are Auburn fans, so we do kind of lean Auburn, but we talk about other things in the SEC as well, man. But we appreciate. All right, man.
Well, we will see you later. Again, appreciate you being on. And tomorrow, guys, do not forget. Tomorrow, I will be posting the audio version of this on Spotify, so make sure to check it out on Spotify. If you missed the live stream, it'll also be on YouTube. But just make sure to pop over and check it out on Spotify as well and give us a follow on there. Rodney, buddy, we got stuff to get to, and we ain't got a whole lot of time. We spent an hour talking college football with Nick. Shout out Nick and the Water Cooler Talk podcast. The Bengals are willing to deal Trey Hendrickson, but they're asking too much. According to reports, the asking price for Trey is a first-round pick next year and a defensive player. It doesn't say pass rusher. It says defensive player. Now, here's my question. If you got, y'all want to trade him and get back compensation like he's been the sack leader, like he's the best defensive player in the league, but y'all won't pay him like he is? Bro, what are we doing? First of all, I don't think Trey's getting traded. I think it's too close to the season. I think he sits out. I think he takes the fines. Because I don't see him play. He's not playing on this deal. He's already said that. And Trey, it feels to me like, despite the fines, because I think it's $1.5 million every week or something. I think he's well off financially. I don't see him taking the field until he gets paid, period.
I pretty much agree. Is like, if for people that remember, y'all remember the Le'Veon Bell situation so he was in the final year of his contract with Pittsburgh, and he was not going to play until he got paid. And guess what? He missed the entire season. So
yep.
I think with this situation, Trey Hendrickson, just like you said, Nick, the sack leader for not one but 2 straight years, if he does not get a new contract, I will not be surprised if he sits out the entire season, because he definitely feels unappreciated by Mike Brown and his kids with the Bengals. Because how in the world? So you give over $500 million contracts to 3 players on the offense that you don't need much help in. You need defensive players. Because if y'all, just like we talked about, the Bengals had a top 5 offense last year, but they missed the playoffs because of their defense. And literally your best defensive player is about to be gone, all because you guys don't want to freaking pay him what he's worth. And that really doesn't make sense at all, because this guy is your only player on the defense. Who else is going to generate noise on the defense? Shamar Stewart? No disrespect to him. They have no one on that team that's going to generate the success and the noise that Trey Hendrickson did the past 2 years.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's I was listening to you. I was just popping on to Herman Rod's podcast real quick, say what's up to them, because they came in the chat earlier tonight and said what's up to me. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I do. Trey's not. He's not playing. Like, there's no way. There's no way he can. No, it ain't gonna happen. Like, here's the thing. Mike Brown is gonna have to dig into those pockets of his, and Katie Blackburn. My bad, Jeannie. You're a great owner. You actually pay your players. Yeah. Katie Blackburn and the Bengals ownership are gonna have to reach into their pockets and pull out the money and give it to Trey. That's the way he's playing. He's not playing. And I'll bring something else up. You brought up Le'Veon Bell. What about 2 years ago with Chris Jones? He was in Chiefs negotiations. He didn't play opening night. They lost to the Lions, and then he got paid the next morning.
Well, here's the thing. Well, here's the thing, though. With the Chiefs, they're in a better position because for the past 4 or 5 years, they've been either the second best or the best team in the league. So they have the money to do it more than the Bengals. But you can also tell me, but they gave over $500 million worth of contracts to Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. So I understand that point.
Yeah, which I'm not taking anything away from, I get it. The Bengals spent money on offense because Burrow threatened to be like, hey, if y'all don't pay Jamar Chase, if you don't pay T. Higgins, I'm out. I will leave. I will request a trade, and I will make you trade me. And so they had to get T and Jamar done. Yes. But there is no reason to not have already paid Trey. They should have got this deal done last year when he wanted a contract.
Right.
But, we're going to look at this real quick because I do want to bring this up. This is the NFL salary cap, like the outlook of it, of who's got the most money to spend. Because a team that's already been teased, right, that they'd be willing to spend the money.
The Patriots. They have the most money.
Patriots. Yeah, the Patriots have, but also there's another team. Hold on. That they haven't said they'd be willing to, but they can afford to do it, right? So you look at the share right now. Look at this. So the Patriots have the most cap space this year, right?
Yes.
Detroit is second most, but they got to pay Aiden Hutchinson. San Fran's got the third most, but they
just paid Brock Purdy.
No, they've already paid Brock. This is post-paying Brock. This is current. The Chargers, but you see that number 7 team in Vegas? You see the Raiders right there?
Well, here's the thing, though. The question is obviously Mason Crosby.
But hold on. I ain't done. Look at next year. This is next year. Vegas will have the third most cap space. So they could trade for Trey, pay him this year. They could pay him a 3-year deal, guarantee 2 years, this year and next year, and they'll be fine because they're a top 10 team anyway. But I want to show you who's got money next year. A team that has the money next year. Oh, crap. That will have the money next year. Okay? Cincinnati's in the top 10 next year. They'll have the money to guarantee him next year. And if you look at this year, they're in the top 15. So they've got the money. But I want to show you 2027. Look at this. The Rams will have the money. Vegas is still a top 3 in 2027. And Cincinnati's still in the top 15. Cincinnati would still be okay. They could afford to pay him. But look at you see the number 2 team? You see that number 2 team there?
Washington.
Uh-huh. That segue goes to our next topic. Now that, to be fair, that's in 2 years. And we don't know that's the estimation, but you may pay Jaden next year, and then that puts you lower down the card.
Yeah.
Scary Terry is off PUP, but it's not related to the contract. I want to see where Washington is. Hold on.
I think the situation with Scary Terry is you are the best receiver on this team. Okay, so they brought in Deebo Samuel on a trade. He was fat.
Okay, Washington's down the list here.
He was fat and had to get in shape. Okay. So why haven't I got paid when I've been the best receiver on this team?
But look, Washington's in the top 4 next year and the top 2 the year after that.
I don't think the situation with Terry is as bad as Trey Hendrickson. Because
no, I think Terry will get paid.
I think that, and the thing is, as good as he is, this is no disrespect to him. He's not a top 5 receiver in the league. Unlike, Trey Hendrickson, who's a top 5 defensive player in the league. Like the Washington fans, y'all can get mad at me, but Scary Terry McLaurin, he's not a top 5 receiver in the league. He's not better than Jamar Chase. He's not better than CeeDee Lamb. He's not better than Justin Jefferson. He's not better than a healthy Tyreek Hill. And he's not better than T. Higgins. And there's 5 right there. He's not better than A.J. Brown. He's not better than A.J. Brown.
So I do believe that they get the deal done with Scary Terry. I do.
But when? The question is when.
Well, here's the thing. So with Trey, it's the guaranteed money, right? Mm-hmm. They've got the number that he wants to be at. They've got the years that he wants. He wants a 3-year deal, but he wants 2 years guaranteed. And the Bengals only want 1 year guarantee money. Cincinnati, you have the money next year, and the money the year after that to guarantee him a 2-year deal. Because you don't have to pay Joe Burrow until 2029.
And you don't have to pay T. Higgins or Jamar Chase.
Until 2030. Or actually, 2030. Like, this is ridiculous. My thing is this, though. If you're Scary Terry and you're Trey Hendrickson, and you go on this NFL salary cap tracker and you look at the estimated salary cap for your teams next year, are you not furious?
I would be pissed. I would absolutely would.
Because in the next 2 years, Washington, you're a top 2 team in salary cap, projected to be. Obviously, if you pay Jaden Daniels, which you should pay him early, then you're going to go down, obviously.
If he does not have a sophomore slump, they're probably going to pay Jaden Daniels next year.
Probably. Similar to what they did in San Francisco with Brock Purdy.
Yeah. And the same thing with Kansas City. They paid Patrick Mahomes the year after they won the Super Bowl. That was his 3rd year in the league. So if Jaden Daniels has a good year once again this year, I will not be surprised if Washington signs him to a long-term deal next year to add on to his rookie contract.
I agree.
I would not be surprised.
But let's get off of that for a minute because we did have a trade. Yeah, we're going through these a little fast. We did have a trade happen. It happened in the NFC East. A team from your division.
I don't really care about it, to be honest. But go ahead.
I just want your honest reaction to Mechie to the Eagles. As a Bama fan, I love that him and Smitty are back together.
I can understand your reasoning as a Crimson Tide fan. I absolutely understand. I understand. But for what we've seen in the NFL, why does it matter? Because he only had in the 3 years he's been in the NFL. So he missed his rookie year and he never started a game in 2023 and 2024.
To be fair, hold on. To be fair though, real quick, he missed his rookie year because of leukemia, and it does take your body a year after you've had it to really get over it. So that second year in the league, when he didn't start, he was trying to rehab and train for his body to get used to playing again.
Okay,
to be fair.
Got me on that one. Now the 3rd year, I do kind of give him some leeway because he had to deal with Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, and Nico Collins. So, but he could have had a chance to rise up in the depth chart because Stephon Diggs is gone to the Patriots, and then Tank Dell is hurt after the gruesome injury.
You know what I think it is, though?
Against the Chiefs.
You know what I think it is, though? I think it's a situation where in Houston, the offense they want to run doesn't fit Mechie. Like, when he was at Alabama with Bryce Young and with Mac Jones, it was a running offense, but they did a lot of motion stuff, especially with Bryce. Motioning him, like a sweep, crossing him and Smitty would cross, him and Water would cross. I think the offense in Philadelphia fits him better because think about it. Here's the thing. I love Mechie. I do. Mm-hmm. I don't look at him and see a 1. I see him as a 2, maybe. But you got to think, in the Eagles organization, you've got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Obviously.
I think John Mechie will be able to beat out Jahan Dotson for that 3rd receiver spot. Because I think he's a faster athlete.
But then he's not a receiver. But then if you're going to at least have a chance to get the ball, you also, to a certain extent, got to beat out Dallas Goedert because he's the prototype tight end that's going to get you out of certain situations. So he's He's technically the third guy on that receiving offense for the Eagles behind A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. So if Minchie is going to have a chance with the Eagles, he's going to have to beat out Dallas Goedert, even though he's a tight end.
Yeah, I think, it's like a change of scenery. I think it'll be good for him. I think obviously being back with Smitty will be great for him.
Former Heisman Trophy.
I just hope he can find his footing. I really do. Because he's a good kid and a good player.
And the thing that helps him out before we get to the next subject is he's going to a proven team, a Super Bowl winning team.
Well, that's the thing. And with A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley, he can kind of be that receiver that gets lost by the defense. Because the defense is going to be hyper-focused on A.J., Devontae, Goddard, and Saquon.
Yes.
I think Mechie will be able to, similar to what, you know how Debo was used in San Francisco? As kind of that jet guy? I think that's how they're going to use Mechie. But let's get to the next subject because the Browns have announced they are starting a 40-year-old. I don't care about this. It was just news.
I mean, here's the thing, though. It
really wasn't news, though.
It wasn't that surprising. I knew when they signed Joe Flacco, he was going to be the starter this year, especially what he did in 2023. Comeback player of the year, led the team to the playoffs. I mean, it's not that surprising. But I will say this, though. Even though he started week 1, I do not see him starting the entire season, guys. Bear with me, guys. Hear me out. I personally think, from the bottom of my heart, Shedeur Sanders is going to find a way to start this year. Somehow, some way, Shedeur Sanders, I hope you're listening. You are going to start a regular season game this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, here's the thing. When you look at the situation, right? And Adam Schefter on ESPN keeps saying that he believes the Browns will keep 4 quarterbacks. Well, here's the thing. Flacco's your starter. That was obvious when they signed him.
Right.
So the challenge is who's going to be your backup. I think the backup will probably be Dylan Gabriel because they drafted him higher than Shedeur. So they have more value in him.
And I don't like that. And I don't like that move.
I didn't say I like it. I said that's how I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
I think because Kenny hasn't played and probably won't play in the last preseason game, bro, I ain't heard of a hamstring injury keeping you out for a month.
Because Joe is going to get him ready for week 1, he's going to play the final preseason game.
Yeah. And then I think if Shedeur and if Dylan can go and Shedeur can go, they're not going to play Huntley or Pickett. I think Pickett getting hurt and not being able to come back yet and play or practice has put him at the 4. So I think if they do keep all 4 guys, it's going to be Flacco, Gabriel, Sanders, Pickett.
So that means Tyler Huntley, he's either going to go to the practice squad or he's cut.
I think he goes practice squad.
Here's
and I think a team signs him.
I think how it will fare for the Browns QB situation is obviously Flacco is going to be number 1. Yeah. Going off of what we saw in the preseason with Shedeur Sanders against the Panthers and Dylan Gabriel against the Eagles, I think if Kenny Pickett is not the backup, I think we should reverse it. I think Shedeur Sanders could be the backup to Joe Flacco, then Dylan Gabriel, and then at the 4, Kenny Pickett, if they for sure 100% believe that they will keep 4 quarterbacks on the 53-man roster. I hate that Tyler Huntley is going to be the Turk, the odd man out, but even because they traded for Kenny Pickett, they're going to keep him some way.
Yeah. We may not talk about that the last topic, Actually, you know what? We'll wait for Micah on Thursday. We'll deal with Micah Thursday because I'm getting tired.
Thank you.
And maybe we'll have some more information on Thursday anyway. Really, it's been the same thing for Micah for a week.
Yes, it has.
I think they're going to play Gabriel first because they drafted him in the 3rd round. So technically, they have more money invested in him. Right, they're paying him a little more. All the rookies get league minimum, but the signing bonus is based on when you were drafted, and he was drafted 3rd round. Shedeur was drafted 5th round, so that's where I think it's the thing. And also, Jimmy Haslam doesn't like Shedeur.
Yes, he has.
He's made that
clear. Yeah. Yes, he has.
So, well, he hasn't said that, but he has said, If you had told me we were going to draft Shedeur, I'd have told you that ain't happening. Which is kind of like saying, hey, I didn't want him. I don't like him. Get out.
And I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I think that's so hard to say because.
Oh no, I agree. It's retarded, but it is what it is.
Right.
I don't know. I think we see Gabriel first. I don't know when, and then we see Sanders because I think both rookies have to play. Because my thing is, you have 2 first-round picks next year, so you either got to see that one of these rookies is going to be your future, or package those picks together to go up and get a guy in the draft. Or if you see that one of those guys is your future, then you can draft a receiver or lineman, something to build around him.
Well, because of that Jacksonville Jaguars trade that they did to get those 2 first-round picks so they could get Travis Hunter. Like you were talking about, you had told me a little bit earlier that if Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel is not the backup, the young guy for next season, because of the quarterbacks that are coming out, this season. I mean, after this college season, you got guys like, I think you said Garrett Nishmeyer is going to come out, Carson Beck out of
Nussmeier, Beck. Yeah, Nussmeier, Beck.
And maybe, depending on how he does this season, maybe depending on how much money he could get, Arch Manning could come out this season as well. So,
my thing is this though. I don't think it's obviously it's not about money for the Mannings. They're loaded.
It's just I don't think that no matter what happens between Gabriel and Sanders, I just don't see the Browns drafting another quarterback the next season when you drafted 2 in the same draft.
I think I can see it because they didn't draft them in the first 2 rounds.
But you needed
they had the
defense. They needed defense. That's the reason why they made that trade to get
here's the thing,
Mason Graham.
Yes, you can't win a Super Bowl without a defense. But if anybody's proven you can win games without a defense, it's Cincinnati. If you have a quarterback and 2 number 1 receivers.
But there you go. But there's the problem with what you said. Offense wins you games, but defense wins you championships.
So, dude, the Browns ain't gonna make the playoffs anyway. Listen, bro, the Browns are gonna be just like the Jets, and it don't matter. They could do a redraft and draft Peyton Manning to the Browns, and he wouldn't be Peyton Manning
because it's the Browns.
Look at Baker Mayfield, bro. A few years ago, everybody, and I got ticked off then, and I'm still ticked off about it. Everybody wrote Baker off, and what had happened? Look at what had happened. He went to the Panthers. That fell apart. He spent like 3 weeks in LA, goes to Tampa, plays really well, gets a bag, and he's good.
Yes.
And now he's in MVP conversations.
And the talent was there all along. It's just there's a reason why ever since 1999, the Browns have the most starting QBs for over almost 3 decades.
Bro, the biggest what if in NFL football will be what if Johnny Manziel hadn't got drafted by Cleveland? Think about it, bro. That ruined his career.
If you looking back at Johnny Manziel, his game was there, but the problem is, and he said it himself, his partying was the issue to why he wasn't successful.
I think if he gets drafted by anybody but these, I'm going to say these three teams: Dallas, Cleveland, Miami. Had he got drafted by anybody but those three, I don't think it would have been a problem.
So no, you're missing one. The Jets, because the Jets have always proven they are not capable of developing a quarterback.
But I'm talking about the area, right? The area. Listen,
okay.
He straight up said if he got drafted by the Cowboys, he's an hour and a half from Texas A&M, 2 hours from College Station, and he'd be down there every weekend partying. Right. If Johnny Manziel had been in Miami, I don't think he'd be alive today.
And like I said, if he goes to New York, out of all places.
But I think he would be. Because New York, though, he wouldn't have been able to step out his place without the media going all out. See, bro, he was able to hop on a jet, fly to Vegas, and he tricked the Browns into thinking he was in Cleveland. You ain't going to do that in New York. They're going to be at your doorstep. What you doing? Where you at?
And you're forgetting one team. You kind of are forgetting one team. They weren't in the NFL at that time. They weren't in the city yet. But if the LA Rams if the Rams was in LA in 2014, I would not Johnny Manziel to go to Los Angeles.
Nah, because that would have been too close to Vegas. Vegas was what hurt him for real. That and him linking up with the guys he linked up with once he got to Cleveland. He linked up with guys that knew Braun, but he didn't link up with Braun. I think if he had gotten to Braun, I think if Braun and him had hung out, they'd have been good.
But it's always a what if. It's always a what if.
Yeah. And the last piece of information we got here, because I am getting extremely tired. I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I was up all night doing stuff. And I know you're tired as well. The Colts are going to start Daniel Jones over AR. I said it today in my video. If I'm Anthony Richardson, I'm going to Shane Steichen. I'm going to Chris Ballard. Trade me. And honestly, there's one team I'm thinking of that I think he could go to, and he'd be successful. Actually, there's two teams, but I think he could go to these two teams and be fine. The Eagles, because if God forbid Hurts was to get injured, he's got a similar build to Hurts. Just hand that ball off to Saquon Barkley. Chunk play to A.J. Brown. Chunk play to Devontae Smith. And the tush push. And the other team, because I've seen him do it with Sam Darnold. I've seen him do it with, he made Kirk Cousins look good. He made Daniel Jones get a contract by the Colts. KOC. Be the backup to J.J. McCarthy and learn from KOC. Yeah, that's easy for me.
I think with the situation with Anthony Richardson, he needs to use this as to put it's like putting gasoline on fire.
But here's the thing, though, bro.
This should fire him up to get his job back.
Here's the thing, though, bro. He has had his opportunity. He's had 2 years. But here's the thing: the first year, he got hurt. He did all right. Last year,
he was all right. Yeah.
Last year, though, and this is where I think he lost the locker room, tapping out. When he went, I can't. I'm tired. And then, bro, when he went to the media on the press conference, I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I was tired. You can't say that.
And I made
You're
a video.
an NFL quarterback.
And I made a video about that. I said that for you to tap yourself out the game when guys like Lamar Jackson can run for days and he never gets tired.
Thank you.
So, and I agree with you with Anthony Richardson. I think if he goes to a team like Minnesota with his strong arm, I think he could be successful.
Where he doesn't have to be the starter. He can't, bro. He cannot go to. I thought about this and I said it in my video, but the more I've thought about it, he can't go to LA. He cannot go to the Rams because we don't know what Stafford's back is right now. And let's be honest, if you're Sean McVay, you're looking at 6'3", 6'4" Anthony Richardson, who can run guys over, or you're looking at
Jimmy Garoppolo
and Stetson Bennett, you're gonna go with AR because he's younger and because he can run dudes over. That's the thing. He can't go to LA. But another thing that I think lost him his job, and I pointed this out in the video, week 1 of the preseason, playing the Ravens, that blitz that came off the edge that he didn't see. It was his mistake. It'd have been different if the tight end or the running back had messed up. He messed up. And here's the thing, bro. I went back and watched it. That was a simple blitz concept. That's like football. That's like what they teach you in like Pee Wee. Like, hey, you're the outside backer. All you got to do is run right here. That's what they teach you in Pee Wee, bro. And he couldn't pick it up.
And the thing is, the only reason why he's getting this much attention is because of the so-called talent that he has. The strong arm.
Bro, well, another thing is, like, everybody keeps saying, well, he needs reps. Bro, you don't draft a project quarterback top 4.
All right, so before we go.
The 49ers just did that a few years ago with Trey Lance. And what happened?
So he was below average in high school. He was below average.
He had 13. He had 13 starts at Florida. The regular season and the one postseason game.
So he was below average in high school. He was below average at Florida. And he's now below average in the NFL.
Bro, I wouldn't even say he's below average. I wouldn't even give him below average. Well, because here's the thing. Here's why they drafted him, dude. And this is the case for a lot of NFL teams. They're enamored by what they see at the combine. Oh, he's a big dude. Oh, he can throw deep. Oh, he can run fast. That's the guy. That's who we want. But they don't look at the tape. If you go back and watch his tape at Florida, and I watched his year at Florida, he's not that good. He was never that good. Like you said, he was below average at an SEC school. He didn't start until his last year. And he had 13 starts, bro. He hasn't gotten reps. Bro, you realize also he didn't play football until his junior year of high school? Like, he didn't get reps in high school. He ain't got reps in college. And now you're the Colts and you're telling your fans he needs reps. He needs reps. Bro, it's the NFL. It stands for not for long. Look at Jonathan Taylor. Look at Michael Pittman Jr. Look at DeForest Buckner. Look at these dudes that you've had on the Colts for years. Their primes are almost over, if not over. And they ain't done squat.
Don't forget Quentin Nelson on the offensive line.
Nelson, yeah. Bro, why do you think Ryan Kelly was like, I ain't re-signing. I'm going to Minneapolis? Because he didn't want to deal with another project. Because here's the thing. AR is not good. He's not. Daniel Jones is not much better. So if you're telling me Daniel Jones beat you out, then that means you are bad. Like worse than Zach Wilson bad.
Yep.
Bro, honestly, if I'm AR, first of all, you can't stay. Because here's the thing. They cannot put him on the field at Indy. Because the locker room, by them naming Daniel Jones a starter, it tells me two things. One, Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard are coaching and GMing for their jobs this year. Think about it, bro. Jim Irsay, the most loyal owner in the world, he passed away. His daughters took over. You don't think his daughters have an idea of like, hey, if this coordinator becomes available, if this GM becomes available, we want to bring them in there. And bro, you got to think, look at what Jacksonville just did. They brought in Liam Cohen and they brought in, who's that guy that they brought in, the GM? I'm blanking on his name. I got no clue. But like
James Gladstone.
Gladstone. You look at, and he was like a front office assistant or something for the Rams last year. But like, you look at him, you look at Liam Cohen. Look at what the Titans are doing right now, right? Look at what the Texans have been doing. They brought in a great coach and a great GM. You don't think Carly Ursay is like, look, I know my dad loved y'all, and he would have never fired you, but y'all got to go. Because her and her sisters are going to want to bring in their own people, unless Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard can prove, hey, we're the right people for the job. You realize Chris Ballard has been there for 8 years, and he has 1 playoff win and 2 playoff appearances as a GM? Like, honestly, dude, if I'm the Ursay family, if I'm Carly and her sisters, I don't know their names. I only know her name because she's been doing media runs for Jim for years anyway. But I'm looking at Washington. I'm like, Cliff Kingsbury's learned some stuff. Cliff knows how to develop a quarterback.
Air raid.
And by the way, the guy, look, they don't have to look outside their locker room to find their guy, because they can either sign Daniel Jones to a long-term deal after this year, or you've got a guy in your locker room. Riley Leonard is going to be an NFL starter. That kid is an incredible talent. He's athletic. He makes good decisions. He just needs practice reps. But how long can the Colts go? He needs reps. He needs reps. He needs reps. And their fans are supposed to be like, you're right, he needs reps. But why would you draft him if he... You know who didn't need reps? Patrick Mahomes. You know who didn't need reps? Brock Purdy. You know who didn't need reps?
Jalen Hurts.
Tom Brady. You know who doesn't need reps? C.J. Stroud, Jaden Daniels.
Lamar Jackson.
Joe Burrow. He ain't need reps. Like, look, don't get me wrong. I feel bad for AR. I do. Because it sucks to lose your job. But look at what AR is making $4 million this year, and Daniel Jones is making $14 million. When they signed Daniel Jones to a 1-year, $14 million contract with like $10 million guaranteed, you should have known it was over. You should have asked for a trade then. And then when you got hurt in the preseason, that told Shane Steichen, that told Chris Ballard, and that told the Ursay daughters, you have not done anything to get better. To make yourself, because here's the thing, what is preached to every NFL player when they get in the league? Your best ability is what?
Availability.
Thank you. And you can't be available.
And the last thing I want to say before we sign off, the myth of you cannot lose your job to injury. What we just saw with Anthony Richardson, you can absolutely lose your job to injury. Guess what?
And I'm telling you.
This year, he got hurt. Now, Daniel Jones is the guy. So, for all NFL players, you can, no matter who you are, ask Drew Bledsoe.
I'm about to say, bro, look at Drew Bledsoe.
You can, it doesn't matter if you played 5 years.
Look at Trey Lance. Look at Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo.
You can lose your job to injury no matter who you are.
Yep. Because, bro, look at Trey Lance. He was a top 5 pick. And look at Jimmy Garoppolo, who was supposed to be like a savior for the 49ers when he got traded from New England. Who's their quarterback now? Trey Lance is a backup in L.A. Jimmy Garoppolo is a backup on a team in L.A. And Brock Purdy is like a $35 million quarterback right now. Actually, I think he's making more than that, but still. You can lose your job to injury.
Yep.
Look at who was it?
Tony Romo. Tony Romo.
He got hurt the year before he retired. Dak took over. Romo left. He retired. I'm just saying, bro. I feel bad for AR, but it's his own fault. He had 2 years. But here's the catch, though. After this year, if they keep him, they got to make a decision on his 5th-year option. If they're going to pick it up or have him play his last year or have him be on his contract his last year of his 4th year.
They're probably going to decline it. I
don't know if they pick it up. I don't know if they do. I think they release him.
Yeah, I agree.
Because here's the thing. Either this year or next year, Arch Manning's coming out. And if the rumor's true that they're trying to tank for Arch, which I don't think is true because this roster's got – here's the thing, bro. They've got a good team in Indy. They got a good roster around the – they just need a quarterback. And their roster, to me, looks very similar to the roster that Daniel Jones took to the playoffs in New York. 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, that's a very similar – they got a really good running back in Jonathan Taylor. They got a really good outside receiver in Michael Pittman Jr. And they got good options outside of him in Alec Pierce and A.D. Mitchell.
And then you also got a good offensive line to protect you, led by Quentin Nelson.
And not to mention, you've got a good defensive line. DeForest Buckner's really good. Grover Stort's a pretty good player. Leatu Latu is a really good edge rusher. Your defensive backs are good. You brought in the safety. Or no, not the safety. You brought in the corner from Minnesota. You just signed Xavier Howard. This is a roster that's built to compete in the playoffs. I'm not going to say Super Bowl, but they can win their division because we don't know what Tennessee is going to be with Cam Ward, right? They've got an older roster. We don't really know what they're going to be. We don't know what Jacksonville is going to be with Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen in his first year. We think we know what Houston can be, but they're going to be without Tank Dell and Nico Collins for a little bit. And that offensive line is not as good as it's been the last few years in Houston. But that is the end of our show. Probably a lot shorter for you because you didn't hop on until about an hour into it. But we are done here, guys. Make sure to like the videos, subscribe to the channel, follow us on all of our social media platforms, on at Nick Beasley Show on Instagram, at Nick BE Show on Twitter. Also follow Rodney at RJK Forever 4 on hold on, it's gonna scroll across the bottom of the screen. On YouTube, and on YouTube and TikTok. And then RJK _ Forever 2 on Instagram. Make sure to give them a follow. Guys, we appreciate y'all. We will be back Thursday night of this week with a very special episode, which means if you listen to the podcast on Spotify, which you should, make sure to go follow our Spotify. I'll put the link down in the description below. Make sure to follow the Spotify. We will be posting this episode tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central Time, 12 o'clock Eastern, and Friday at 11 o'clock Central Time, 12 o'clock Eastern. We'll be posting episode 4 of the season because we're having a special episode Thursday night. Shout out Herman Raj of the Herman Raj podcast. Also, the Bama Standard, they will be joining us to talk a little college football because we got games this weekend that matter. Kansas State, Iowa State from Ireland. Oh, it's going to be great, man. But guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. I'll be posting some content, clips and stuff. I know Rodney will as well as soon as I can get them to him. We're having a blast, guys. Football season is finally back, and we cannot wait. College football, NFL football. Heck, bro, if they playing flag football, I'll be watching. I just love football. But thank you guys. Again, make sure to like and subscribe. And we are